What's shakin' shickities? Today I'm going to be redrawing an old piece from about 2016. Um, this piece was done in a period of time when I would color the color first and then do the line art, which not good, not recommended. It was just a hassle. I only did it for my important pieces that were like supposed to be really detailed. So look at it. It's not bad, but it's a mess. Uh, um, so the eye is crooked, the coloring, as usual, was bland, so I did fix it a little bit. I have no idea what the hell is going on with the hair. The mouth and the nose, as usual for that time period, way too low on the face, and I spent too much time with the mouth and nose way too low on the face. Half of the face was just like empty space most of the time. So the eyes are off, and the new version, I tried to make her look a lot more hermity and a lot more like a rugged forest lady because it fit her personality better instead of just being really, really pretty. I made her look older as well. Could have put some gray in her hair, but I didn't do that. Regardless, that's this piece, not what I wanted to get into today. What I want to get into is the Catfish story. I've told this story a few times before, so if you've heard it, don't worry because there's more to it that I am adding that has come up since then. So, around the time when this piece was drawn, it would have been the original piece. It would have been 2016. It would have been kind of in the middle of a lot of the shit that was going down. No, it would have been after. It would have been after. I remember now. I'm sorry, I have a really bad chronological memory. But that's why this whole story is written down in my notes. Anyway, it's back in 2014. I got my iPod, which I still use for music only now. But I have an iPhone now. So it's a 5th gen, but I have an iPhone now. Anyway, I got into a lot of new shit because I was going from having a 2nd generation iPod to a 5th gen, so there were a lot more apps I could get. And I got an app called Geeking, which is a roleplay app, a roleplay and chat app. And I played on that. There were a couple roleplays that I played on it a lot. I remember that whole 11th grade year was just half of it spent on this fucking roleplay app, role-playing, because I was too smart for school. I got all my work done. What I was also into at this time was a little show called Hitalia. If you've watched Hitalia, you know what I mean. You know what's up. If you haven't watched Hitalia, don't. It's really cursed. I did have a friend I almost got into it, like, recently. I'm like, no, don't. Like, I know it sounds interesting. I know it sounds like a good thing, but it is bad. It is bad. Don't get me down that rabbit hole again. And I had made another friend that was into it too, so we were both into it, and like had been into it, you know? Like, remember when we were into Italia? That was a wild time. Everyone was cringy. So, and some people were cringy in a bad way, like those people who dressed up as Germany and Prussia and went to a Holocaust museum. Don't do that. So, I joined this Italia roleplay run by a guy named Ethan. He was from Russia, and he had a girlfriend in the chat who was also from Russia, but he was living in England, and she was still back in Russia. So, he was playing Scotland and England, and she was playing Russia. I was playing Canada, of course. God bless. I think I had another roleplay where I played Alan, and that was probably my best roleplaying, was playing 2P America, because, oh god, I was just ridiculous. But, anyway, through this roleplay, I became really close to Ethan, and a little bit close to other people in the group. There's some people in this group that I'm still friends with. but, you know, we've all kind of grown apart. Um, so we had a little posse. It was mostly within the geeking chat. It eventually moved on to Kick. One day in April, somebody brought up that we hadn't really heard from the girlfriend in a while. And I'm keeping her name out of it because she's the one we're not sure about, like, if she was, how involved she was in the situation. So we hadn't heard from the girlfriend in a while. And we were really worried because she had had cancer twice, and we were worried that, like, something had happened. She'd not relapse, but the disease word for it, um went into remission. No, remission means you're getting better. I don't remember, but I'm not a doctor. But we were worried that she had died. Um, we were looking for obituaries. No one could find anything. But, like, you know, you haven't heard from her in a while. People were messaging her privately, just trying to get information. And about a month or two pass, and we're like, yeah, you know, she's probably not around anymore. So, Ethan couldn't tell us anything either because I believe her parents didn't know about him or something. So, he eventually moves on. So it's late June at this point. During this time, he had met up with an old friend. He moved back to America, met up with an old friend there. Uh, Look at me flipping the canvas. You may think that's on purpose, but that was purely an accident. I pressed a button. And then I did it again to make it look like it wasn't an accident. um, anyway, um, he meets up with this old friend and they start dating. I'm really close with him at this point. I really trust him. Um, And I remember there was someone else in the group chat around this time who, I don't remember his name, but he was obsessed with flags. He just loved flags, and it was kind of a cool little, not really a quirk, but like a cool little character trait, you know? But he was like really into Ethan, and he really liked Ethan too, so like we had a bit of a posse. But this was about before the new boyfriend had come along. He was getting really into Ethan. So it's late June. Gay marriage is legalized. Ethan and the boyfriend get engaged, and I'm so happy for them. Like, I'm just so happy because Ethan had been through so much shit, and I was just glad that he had, like, found something in his life that he cared about and that could make him happy. So I remember this would have been, I was at a convention that weekend, so it would have been about Friday when they got engaged, and then about Sunday night when, no, Sunday, maybe Saturday night, I remember the flag boy kind of DMs me, and he's like, this seems a little sketchy. Like, his girlfriend died, and then all of a sudden they're engaged. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm not really getting involved because, like, I don't get involved with other people's relationships. So, like, you know, I can't really give you a good opinion. I'm not gonna, you know, shit talk on my friends. I've known him longer than I've known you, etc. Like an idiot, I kind of just assume he's being jealous, so I move on. Um, I just dip out of it. Over the summer, I don't have internet. I really try to stay in touch, but I don't have internet, so, you know, I get online when I get online, and, I remember one time Ethan said he was going on a walk with his boyfriend, or fiance, and I was, like, so excited. I was like, take pictures, you know, have a good time, and then, they get back, and he's like, I took some pictures, and this picture is of two generic emo boys. You know how catfish are. Two generic emo boys kissing under a tree. I also remember him saying that there was nobody else at the park, so who took the photo? Maybe he just didn't mention there was someone at the park that took the photo, so I just moved on. Like, that didn't matter. And anyway, I saved the photo, because sometimes I do save photos of my friends. because I was super fucking lonely and I just wanted to be close with them somehow. Um, so one day I'm at home, I'm flipping through my photos, and I see the generic emo boy photo, and I zoom in, and there's like a white bar on the top. Like, I screenshot this off Google and cropped it really badly, kind of bar. So, you also have to realize Ethan had all of his profile pictures were very generic emo boy. It was like the same photo he used for everything. Um, whenever we posted selfies. So anyway, I see this bar. I immediately delete the photo as if hiding the evidence. So I just move on. I forget about it. I don't want to admit to myself that something's sketchy here. So now it's August. I go online one day and my iPod is blown up because what happened is the girlfriend was alive. The girlfriend had allegedly been in a coma, got in a car accident, was in a coma, and that was the reason she couldn't talk to any of us. And I was like, holy fuck, this is like fiction content right now. Like, this is ridiculously crazy. And I'm excited because, hey, she's not dead. Um, so anyway, I go home. I'm looking through the Kick messages that I missed because I kind of wanted to see where it had began. And I remember a message that said, I don't even know if you're real or not, when they were arguing because, like, of course he had moved on. That's a little bit of a shitty move. So I scroll past it and ignore it. I didn't see that. So things calmed down, and now it's September. I'm really lonely because my best friend moved away. I have no one to talk to, so I'm really tight with the group chat at this point. Um, I log into Kick one Saturday morning, and I get a message from Ethan's chat in the group chat that said, basically, this is Ethan's cousin. He died this morning, and his boyfriend also died, and I am devastated. So, so Ethan's dead, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Luckily, had met other friends at this point to keep me going, and I move on. It's December. I'm in a free period at school. The old group chat is still active, and there are messages from Ethan's account. So I'm like, is his cousin using his account now? What's going on? So then I go on my Kick, and I get a message from someone else in the group saying Ethan's alive, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? So I'm like, I think I messaged him like, what the fuck's going on? And apparently, allegedly, there was some story about how he had to hide out because people were after him and da. So I was like, I cut ties instantly. I was like, this is some bullshit. You can't do this to people. If you're going to disappear, just disappear. Don't pop in the group chat like, oh, I was fucking hiding out. That's when it got sketchy. That's when it became like the weirdest fucking story. So, we're still not really sure if the girlfriend is real or not, but when I posted this the first time, someone else who had also been in this situation with the same people, who I also knew from the group chat, messaged me and said, yeah, her phone number wasn't from Russia. Like, someone had her phone number and it wasn't from Russia, so she was definitely, like, also part of it. They could have been the same person for all we know. And, it was pretty sketchy. So I also remember being on I went into a Hitalia group chat a while later, and I remember talking about it, just mentioning it to someone, and someone was like, I was in that group chat. So that was a really weird situation. The world is small. But anyway, here's the art piece. I'm glad this actually filled the space and that I didn't fuck up. But, I didn't go over. I did go over. Anyway, follow me on the usual. Twitter, ShickXander, Instagram, Shick.Xander, and, I have a new fanfiction coming out that I'll talk to you guys about later, but, have fun, stay safe, don't talk to strangers unless they have a really cool mustache. Thank you.